Alright guys, so I've already started off my makeup by doing my foundation. I use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I'm doing a review and kind of first impressions on this product, so that's why I didn't apply it here. Today, let me grab it. We are going to be using the Grav3yardgirl Swamp Queen Palette. I'm super excited to have this. I follow Bunny. I love her. She is great. We are going to be doing a full-faced look with these. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. With this, I am super excited. So I'm going to finish doing my concealer first, which just dropped on the ground. So hold on just a minute. And we're back. So we're going to go in with our concealer first and do that, set our under eye, and then we will get started on the rest of our face. So I am going in, you can't really see because the writing is all worn off on the tube, but I'm going in with the NYX HD concealer in the shade, I don't know, because it's all worn off. I believe it is light. We're gonna go with light, whatever the lightest shade was. So I do this underneath my eyes and down my nose, kind of giving it a slimmer appeal. And I tend to do this with a very, very small amount of concealer compared to most. I find that for me it gets super cakey. Again, I don't know what's going to go up first, this or the review, but my skin is super oily. So, and I forgot a brush. So I use very minimal concealer because it does cake up underneath my eyes. So we're just going to blend that in. I start off by going underneath and blending this all the way out, and then I kind of drag it down with the extra product to give that really lightened under eye and kind of up on my lid because, like I said, I do have a lot of extra product. And then I kind of go in with my finger and press it into the skin. So I use the brush to kind of move the product where I want it, and then I press it in with my finger in that bouncing motion that you would do. Sometimes I use a beauty blender here, but this is really the only place that I use it, again, because of my oily skin. So it doesn't look real pretty right now, but then I bounce it into my skin and it kind of smooths everything out. And I did do my brows off camera. I am no brow expert, and frankly right now they're a little uneven. They're kind of frenemies instead of friends, but what are you gonna do? So now we're going to set that. I am going to use, this is my first time using it, it is the Real Techniques setting brush. I just picked this up, and then we're gonna go in with the NYX Mineral Set It, Don't Fret It powder. I have mine in light medium. I really like this stuff. I find that this helps my under eye not crease, which is obviously super important. So we're gonna pick up some of that powder, tap it off, and well, first we're gonna press it all out, make sure there's no creasing underneath, and then we're gonna set it. And for those wondering, I can't do anything in makeup without my mouth hanging wide open, so let the comments fly. That's totally fine. It's what I do. But I do actively try not to, so it makes for really funny faces. I do really like this brush. It is smaller than the one I've been using. I've actually been using the Morphe Elite blush brush, I believe, which is not ideal, but it's what I had. So it's what I've been using. But this gets under my eye perfectly. I really like it. And since I did take some of that concealer on top, I am going to use some of that powder on my eyelids as well. Just to kind of set it. So that way when you go in to do your eyeshadow later, it doesn't look funky. And it blends smoothly. After that, I am going to take my Morphe blush brush. It is the E3. I don't believe they actually have these anymore. I think they're coming out with a new line. So any kind of big brush that is good with powder. I like this because it's super tapered, so I could use it for the under eye, or I could like press it all the way on. But I'm going to go around. I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless because I have large pores too. In the shade 100 Translucent. This is what I use to set the rest of my face. So I'm just going to grab some of that and kind of set everything else so that way all the powders that I use do go on smoothly. Yeah, go on smoothly. Forgive me for always looking down. I have a mirror in my lap. That's what I used to apply this because my viewfinder's kind of off to the side right now and it was like kind of weird. So if you see me looking down constantly, that is what is going on. I want to set my my nose and my T-zone. And then let's see, what are we going to do next? Why don't we contour? I normally contour next. And I know I said that we were using the Swamp Queen to do full face, but I can't actually contour with anything other than my Too Faced Cocoa. I mean, I can, but this is my favorite, and I have it in the medium to dark. I know I'm pale, so, you know, people often ask me, like, why do you have medium to dark? And my husband actually picked this up for me. He didn't know that there was a second shade, or they were sold out or something, but he picked this up for me for my birthday, and I find, because I am not a contouring expert, I tend to use a light hand anyways. So I use less product using this, and I go in with the medium mocha. And it is actually like my perfect undertone, so it works really, really well for me. And I just use a little contouring brush and I brush down and then kind of sweep it in. And yeah, because I have a lighter hand, you can kind of see it really dark on the camera, but in person it looks really fair. And it kind of matches the red undertone. Let's see if this side's better. Yeah. And then I just take my E3 again, and I go in with the Cocoa Butter, which is the top shade, and I clean up underneath. And I kind of take a little bit of that when I get over him and clean up. So that is kind of a technique that you can use. I have a very round face, so I do bring my contour down a little bit further. It's just what works for me, so that's what I do. Now just drop that on the floor. Good job. We're gonna go in now with our Swamp Queen palette, and we're gonna do the blush because it's right here. We're gonna use the blush from the palette. It says, "Does this thing really work?" That's the name of it. For those who don't know Bunny, she has a series that is "Does this thing really work?" It's kind of like a first impressions kind of thing. We're gonna use the Real Techniques blush brush and just kind of pick up some of that powder. It is super powdery and like very pigmented, so Here we go. And I start here, like on the dollop of my cheek, and I brush back towards the contour. I find that that gives my face a little more dimension. I do go in with a lot of brush sometimes. I'm a little high on my brush, on my blush. I like a more dull effect, although I am doing a little bit better with it. And then I go back and mix in some of that translucent powder to kind of blend everything. So little tips and tricks that I use. So you can use the sweet tea. It's a little orange for my skin tone, so I tend not to use it. But we will be using the Gator Wings highlighter on our face, and so we could do that. I'm gonna do that last. I'm gonna go in with, I'm just picking up my brush. I'm gonna go in with a Wet n Wild crease brush. I'm gonna start by picking up Big Baby, which is this shade right there. I just dug my nail into it. Big Baby. It is a like really nice neutral, almost skin toned. And we're gonna put that in the crease. Okay. Random question, since I have you all here and fascinated. Does anybody else get texture in their crease? Because I have a lot of texture in my crease, and I'm wondering how I can get rid of that, because it ain't cute. Afterwards, we're gonna switch over to the E17, which is just a more precise crease brush. We're gonna take Natural Peaches, which is right there. That one right there. I can move my finger out of the way. And we're gonna do that lower in the crease, like right here. And I normally start like halfway and go out first, because that's where I want most of the product, and then windshield wiper motions back and forth. Like this. I'm gonna add a little bit more color, and you just kind of keep blending until you get the look that you want. So you should have something kind of like this. Probably kind of hard to see right now, but I am going for a more soft look at the moment. I don't really know. I haven't decided what I'm doing. I'm kind of staying away from the bottom row because they're mostly plum colors, which I really love, but I think that they work best on their own. The top 6 colors, I feel like you can kind of mix and match, and they go really nicely. So we're gonna get a flat shader brush, Wet n Wild. I love these brushes. Although they do have a hard time picking up the more, anybody see that? The more shimmery shades, but we're gonna give it a try because I haven't actually used Tarte eyeshadows before. This is my first time. So we're gonna pick up Sassy Bun, which is the one right in the middle, right there. And we're gonna put that all over our lid. This is my favorite in the palette. Oh, yeah. Picks up this one just fine. Probably not quite as pigmented as your finger. I know that that works really well. I'm kind of trying to keep it on the inner 2/3 of my eye, because we're going to put a darker shadow on the outside of my eye. These are very powdery, but that's because they are super pigmented, so you don't need a lot. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Just making sure that there's enough pigment in all the locations that I want there to be pigment. So you should have something like this, where the outer corner is doesn't have any color to it yet. We're gonna go back in with our E17 and we're gonna pick up some of Dogman. And put that in the outer corner, which, yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it. And I don't know if you can see just how much pigment. I dipped it twice, and that's how much comes in. So make sure to tap off your extra because there is going to be a lot, and I am kind of dabbing it to kind of put it where I want it, and then I'll go in and kind of smooth it out because I want most of that color to be on the outside. And then I use the windshield wiper motions to kind of blend everything together. I might go back in with some natural peaches just to make sure that it is nice and blended. And then I'll probably grab a little more of Sassy Bun just to make sure that that color is nice and poppin' on the inner third, or 2/3, inner 2/3. So this is what we have on our eyes right now. I actually really like the way that this came out. So we're gonna take our E24, which is just a bullet type brush. We're gonna grab some of Natural Peaches to do the lower lid. We're going to run that right under the eyelashes, all the way in. Like I said, I cannot do this without making the funniest face. After that, we're going to grab a little bit of Dogman, like literally just one, boop, tap off. We're going to do that on the outer third. Boop. Tap. To kind of connect that with the upper lash. And we'll go in with a little bit of Sassy Bun. No, I take that back. We're not going to do that. We're going to grab, let's see, we're going to grab Gator Wings. And we're going to apply that to the inner corner. That ain't gonna work. I'm gonna do it with my finger. That's what I found is the best way to use this. And no, I'm not flipping people off. It's just what I used. Ooh, ooh. This is very pigmented and I brought it way down too far. So be careful of that. There we go. There we go. So we have gator wings on the inner corner to give you kind of a pop of light. And then we're gonna take gator wings on a tapered, fluffy brush and apply that to the tops of our cheekbones. This one is super powdery, but frankly, it's like little flecks of gold all over your cheeks. I mean, can you see that? Hello? Hi. Yeah. Hi there, highlight. I'm even gonna bring it down a little bit onto the apples of my cheeks with the excess product to kind of give us that little, I don't know, centerized look. It kind of draws you into the face. And then we will take a little bit on the tip of our nose. So there you have it. And that's kind of it with the palette. I am going to go do my eyeliner and my mascara, and I will be right back. All right, and we're going to go in now with Lumiere from ColourPop, and we're just gonna apply that all over our lips. This is a ColourPop Lippie stick, I should clarify for those who don't know. They do have the color in a like ultra satin or ultra matte. So this is the finished look. We'll take that off. The finished look. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember, there are no rules to makeup, so if you want to give it a try, go for it. Bye, guys.